The Justice Department is reaching into the Trump White House, widening its criminal probe into the Capitol riot. Mark Short, the former chief of staff to Vice President Mike Pence, revealed to CNN he testified under subpoena before a federal grand jury investigating the insurrection. Now, Short is the highest-ranking Trump administration official known to have testified before the grand jury. And Pence's former chief counsel, Greg Jacobs, also testified before that grand jury.
So today, Trump and Pence's battle for the GOP plays out in an interesting split screen in the nation's capital. The former president is back in D.C. for the first time since losing the election and leaving town in disgrace following the Capitol riot. He is about to give a keynote speech to a conservative group focused on, of all things, law and order. This morning, former Vice President Pence gave a speech urging conservatives to focus on the future and avoid looking back. But let's begin with the DOJ investigation. Elie Honig is our CNN senior legal analyst and a former assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. Elie, great to see you. Why is Mark Short so important to the DOJ?
Yeah, Allison, well, this is a big deal because for the first time we know that the Justice Department has gotten inside the White House. Mark Short is the highest-ranking person who we know of who has been subpoenaed and testified in the grand jury. Now, Short was the chief of staff to Vice President Mike Pence. We don't know what he said in the grand jury. He wouldn't talk about that, but we do know that he previously talked to the January 6th committee, and he detailed this crucial January 4th meeting that happened in the White House in the Oval Office, where Donald Trump and this lawyer, John Eastman, were trying to pressure Mike Pence to throw out electoral votes for Joe Biden 2 days later on January 6th. Now, we know that Short and Pence rejected that idea, and Mark Short was so alarmed that he actually notified Pence's Secret Service detail. He said to the committee, quote, "My concern was for the vice president's security, and so I wanted to make sure that the head of the vice president's Secret Service was aware that likely, as these disagreements became more public, that the president would lash out in some way." Allison and Victor, that's exactly what ended up happening.
I mentioned that Greg Jacobs also testified before the grand jury. Explain his significance.
Yeah, so Greg Jacobs is another important player. He was counsel to Mike Pence, and he really pushed back against John Eastman on this legal theory that the vice president, in his capacity as president of the Senate, had the legal and constitutional authority to just reject certain electoral votes. At one point, Greg Jacobs testified to the committee that he made this, what I think is a really interesting argument about why that cannot be. Jacobs said that he said, part of my discussion with Mr. Eastman was, if you were right, don't you think Al Gore might have liked to have known in 2000 that he had the authority to just declare himself president of the United States? And ultimately, according to Greg Jacobs, John Eastman acknowledged that his plan would likely violate the federal law, the Electoral Count Act, and would likely lose 9-0 in the Supreme Court. And the reason that's important is because if they knew that their plan was illegal, that could go to criminal intent.
That's such a good Al Gore logic right there, that argument. I hadn't heard that. So let's talk about the slate of fake electors. We've heard a lot about that in Georgia. How does that play into this?
Yeah, so this is also something that we know the Justice Department is looking at. The way this is supposed to work is that after each state votes, they fill out this sort of ceremonial paperwork where they say, we, the state of Georgia, for example, hereby award our 16 electoral votes to Joe Biden. And those people fill out the forms you can see on the left there where the 16 electors sign their names. But Rudy Giuliani engineered this 7-state plan to submit false states, a slate of electors who claimed they had been properly elected for Donald Trump. This covered 7 states. We know that Rudy Giuliani was the coordinator. This didn't just happen organically in 7 separate states independently. It all flowed through Rudy Giuliani, and we know the committee has looked at that, and we now have reporting that DOJ is interested in that as well.
We've also seen new evidence from the 1-6 committee, this statement that the president was supposed to have given the day after the insurrection with just some lines scratched out and some notes. What's the legal significance?
This to me is such a revealing look inside the mindset of Donald Trump. So this is a draft of the statement that he was planning to give the day after on January 7th. And if we look at what Donald Trump took a pen and crossed out, it includes this statement, quote, "I am directing the Department of Justice to ensure that all lawbreakers are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law," end quote. Donald Trump said, no, I'm not saying that. Imagine that. The day after we've seen people damage the Capitol, assault police officers, and Donald Trump would not make that kind of definitive statement. Allison and Victor, I think that's really telling as to Donald Trump's state of mind, his intent, and what he really felt about the riot the day after.
Yeah, he doesn't want them prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Let's not forget.
Elie Honig, thank you.
Thanks, guys.